Hello everyone, how's it going? How are you all doing today? Welcome back to the Tea Club. For a very special episode, I suppose. Yo, our super smexy monkey, how are you doing today? Oh dear, hello Cookie, hello. I don't know about that, but I'm doing pretty well. How are you? You know what's up? Hello Shatter, welcome. Good to see you. What is up? What's up with you? For me, nom. I had some good lamb today. It was tasty. Exciting stream today. It's true. She's here. Hello, Aldo Montalvo. Welcome to the TNCT Club. Aldo, your profile picture looks godlike. Looks familiar, actually. Is that a vampire? Fireworks, cucumber, dango, lantern. The vibe of today. Gives me Persona 2 vibes. Love it. Oh, I see. Thanks. Alucard is pretty cool. So it is Alucard. Oh, I see. So so as you may have seen, for today's stream, I thought I'd finally give Kimono stream a try. I kept putting it off because I was like, I'm not ready. I don't have the plans all done. Kimono hype. Thank you. But the thing is, I decided I might as well just go for it, huh? So today's lesson is not going to be extremely structured. We're just gonna see how it goes, and I'll try to cover some key topics, basically. But there's not gonna be a strong sense of, like, lesson plan. There are no slides. We're just gonna talk about Yukata. And I thought it would be a nice idea because, seeing as it's summer in the northern hemisphere, it's kind of the perfect time to start trying out Yukata, especially with Obon season going on right now. And Yukata is, in my opinion, the best type of kimono to start with. Well, I guess there's always Jinbei, but that's different. We won't worry about that. Well, maybe we'll talk about it. But yeah. Such is the way. Let me see. I made a short list. I should make sure I actually look at this. I'll look at this in a moment. Okay. We get to see Monkey in a different outfit. Not quite. No special outfit reveal today, but maybe someday. I would love to wear kimono on stream someday. Curious? I ask, which color will you wear? Today I'm not going to be putting on kimono per se. The way it's gonna go is probably a mixture of searching up internet images and stuff, and sort of doodling on the whiteboard. Sort of way of going about it. Maybe in the future I'll be able to do better demonstrations, but I'm not really set up for that right now. Today we are at the tea school. The tea school! The kimono school? Sounds exciting, like I nice chill stream since my day today has been kinda crappy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Cookie. I do hope this helps you chill out a bit before bed then. Yukata are the ones that are usually more breezy, correct? That's a good way of thinking about it. There are summer kimono that are also pretty breezy, but yukata are meant to be breezy. Okay, Miss Now, guys, open your books. Oh dear. No, Sensei. Sensei ka. I don't know about Sensei, but thank you. I will take it actually. Yes, Nao Sensei. Today. I feel more like Nao Oni, Nao Ne. More like, back in the day you would learn how to wear kimono just because you pick it up at home. Just like how you learn to wear clothing, presumably, as human beings. So today I will be your surrogate older sibling and teach you all about yukata. I'll write the date today. Oh, thank you, Cookie, thank you. Write it up on the whiteboard. Oh, nice. Then what would it be your favorite color to wear? Ah, good question. Let's find one you like with Guguru-san. Nice. My favorite color. That's a hard one. I have a lot of colors that I like. It depends a lot on the season. I tend to like blues and pinks, and I like autumn colors a lot. And rich colors like black and there's a lot of good colors out there. I wonder, what colors would you all like to wear in your yukata? Nao Sensei. Domo. The title today is for Monkey Volume 243. Sadly, we don't get to see Na in different outfits. Wait, what were we learning? Oh yeah, kimono. I'm confused, Cookie. お姉さん。さすが、なお先生。dear. Alright. Okay. Before we get started, there's just one thing I wanted to announce. Some of you may have seen on Twitter already. I kind of fudged the first post, so I deleted it and reposted it. But starting today, I will be active on Hello Talk. Here, let me put this. There we go. Starting today, I will be active on Hello Talk, which is an app for language exchange, basically. It's kind of like a social media language exchange app where I will be practicing my Japanese and also helping anyone who's interested in practicing their English. This is something that I just kind of enjoy doing personally. I thought it'd be kind of fun. On Twitter, I can never figure out what to post. But if I'm trying to post things so that I can practice my Japanese, that might help a bit. So I might post more often on Hello Talk, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. The other thing I love about Hello Talk is it has really good, correction tools. And I feel a strange joy in helping people correct their spelling and grammar. I don't know. Now I do sound like Nao Sensei. But I really enjoy it, so I'm hoping to do a lot of that as well for English. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just thought it would be kind of fun. So, yes. If you'd like to go follow me there, unfortunately it doesn't say on here, it just has the QR code, which I've tried and I think it's a little broken, to be I'm not sure that QR code works, but this is what they gave me. But if you want to find me, HelloTalk is an app on Android and iOS. They don't really have web right now. But you can find me. My username is tianshi_now. Just like on Twitter. So yes. If you're interested, come find me. No, ane ue, I think you mean? I think the Y is unnecessary there, but yes. Ane ue. Hi. No, ane desu. Kimono no tsuite, 教えてください。Don't know why our new substitute teacher, Mrs. No, has a tail. A tail. What a strange outfit. Didn't know our teacher was into cosplay. Cosplay? This is normal clothing. I was too busy looking at Now Pillow on her Twitter. Ah, yeah, I saw your comment, Cookie. I'm glad you like it. Best part is if someone asks where I learned about kimono, I'll have to say I learned it from a monkey. Nice. Sounds amazing. I'll check it to improve my English. Oh, great, wonderful. I'm excited to see you there. Wow, I can't believe Now is sponsored. No. This is not a sponsorship. Yeah, just tried the QR code. It do be working. Nice, wonderful. I guess it was just broken for me. That's good to hear. Thank you for testing it out. Is she sponsored by Raycon, NordVM, or Raid Shadow Legends? I can use code TIANSHI to get 30% off our first order. Oh man, if I ever get affiliate links. I wonder if I can get affiliate links for kimono shops. That would be great. Now, before we begin, 250 subscribe. What? 250 subscribers? Wait, really? What? When did this happen? Wait, I gotta look. What? Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much. What? Thank you. Oh my goodness. We're halfway to 500? When did that happen? That's crazy. That's amazing. Thank you all so much. Y'all are incredible. Congratulations now. Thank you, Shatter. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I'm actually Isabel. Ah, okay. Wallace and Gromit. Shall I continue to call you Isabel then? Or would you prefer Wallace and or Gromit? Pachi. Thank you, Aldo. Thank you. That pillow better be made out of something durable, since it's gonna get cuddles a lot. Oh, thank you, Cookie. I hope so. Road to 500. Hashtag road to 500. We'll see, Shatter. I hope so. It's been about a year, right? With my anniversary celebration being just a week ago. So maybe one more year? One more 250? We'll see. I'm excited. We've forgotten the crackers, Monkey. Oh no! What about the cheese? Oh dear. Did I mention Wallace and Gromit scared me a little bit as a kid? I was like, this man is unhinged. Fireworks show! Oh you, Ryder. Thank you. Oh dear, oh dear. Any YouTuber when they hit 1 million subs. Ah, thank you so much, Christ. Now when she gets 100 mil subs, oh lol, just hit 100 mil, continues to chat. I don't know about that, Cookie. I would die. I would probably die. Ah, it's Suisei Archive. Welcome. Oh my goodness, I love Suisei. Welcome to the TNCT Club. I highly disagree with this statement, Cookie. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. Speaking of fireworks, did you get to see any of the fireworks shows in Animal Crossing now? Ah, not yet. I better do that before the time is up. I have been busy every... What is it, Sunday night? Sunday nights is when they happen? I'm excited though. Last year I made a few fireworks to put into the sky too. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't a statement, Ryder. It was a meme. Oh, I see, Cookie. Alright. Let me see here. Let me see if we can get over to our classroom. Not classroom. No. Just presentation room. I may or may not have had to engage in some time travel to catch the flow. Time travel? Time traveling jester? Wow, that's some dedication. Alright, let's see. Ta-da! This is our whiteboard for today. It is green. Now there is a big green empty window behind me. Please do not worry about that. We will throw something up on there very soon. Okay. So, let me see. Yeah. Like this. Okay. Ta-da! First things first. Why don't we take a look at some examples of yukata? And what better place to start than what you're most familiar with, yukata in anime. And we just go ahead and look at some of those pictures while we start our discussion. So story time about today. Oh, green. Went on my YouTube so I could schedule my Duolingo stream tomorrow. Oh, nice. Oh, Duolingo's a good one, Cookie. Oh boy, a green whiteboard. We can almost green screen monkey onto something. Then it said I had been signed out of my account, so I logged on as normal, thinking that was weird. However, it said password was incorrect. Oh no. I like Gintoki's look. Gintoki is this one, right? Hoisha. Oh. Now that I look closely, he does appear to be wearing a yukata on top of his, as they call it, yofuku? Yofuku is, Western style clothing. There's wafuku, wa meaning Japanese, and fuku meaning clothing. And there's yofuku, which is, yo meaning overseas, I believe, and fuku meaning clothing again. I did get the code from email. Gintoki is quite stylish, this is true. Pretty stylish, pretty stylish. Actually, this pose and outfit that he has put together does have some origin in old Japanese fashion as well. Back in the day, guys would often take one half of their kimono and kind of like flop it off of their shoulder. Sometimes this was to help them get better aim, I believe, when they were shooting a bow. And sometimes it was just because it was comfy for cooling off. And using the inner part of your kimono in front like that as a armrest / pocket is something that you can do if you're wearing a masculine style kimono. Then after 30 minutes, I finally got on my account. Then I noticed all my streams had been deleted. Oh no, Cookie! Oh no! That's no good. Did your account get compromised? You might need to do something about that. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear. I absolutely stan black clothing, high boots, and popped-up collar, so this boy is killing it. I see. Fashion. Plus, I like the idea of half Western, half Japanese. Oh man, I could talk about that forever. There's a lot of fun fashion out there these days. For example, I really like hoodies, personally. And, combining hoodies with, how you say, kimono? Silly me, words. Combining hoodies with kimono is kind of a street fashion these days that is so cozy when it starts getting cooler. Not so great for summer, obviously, but... Hello, Noah in chat. Hello, Terrence. Welcome. IDK if I got hacked or something, but I was really scared. Understandable, Cookie. Make sure you change all your account info and maybe do some two-factor auth. That might help. Gintama in general has a very interesting idea for a setting. Sci-fi feudal Japan is something I can't say I've seen anywhere else. Oh, that's cool. We just started. I already have a question. Maybe a dumb question. But I heard someone say no question is a dumb question, so... May the students make questions? Oh, please! Today is a very casual, sort of meandering lesson, so I'm open to any questions that you might have as they come. So then none there on the server had no idea what to do. Uh-oh. So I was gonna tweet at Team YouTube. Oh no. I've been wondering if I should watch Gintama. It's a very big investment of time. I love the style of the MC, but I'm not sure if everything else is for me or not. Though I love when they reference. That's fair. You know, I've never watched Gintama myself, but it does look kind of fun. You know, I feel like with big series like Gintama, one of the things that's better to think about rather than seeing it as a big investment, because then you'll never start, right? Is just say, I'll give the first episode a chance, and if I don't like it, I'll drop it, and that's okay. If I do like it, maybe I'll give the first 3 episodes a chance. A lot of people say it takes about 3 episodes for you to really get the feel of an anime anyway. The first episode, the pilot, is always a little different, right? So the first 3 episodes might be a good way to do it. And if you like it, then great. You have something to watch for the next few years. Whenever you feel like, I don't know what I feel like watching, you know? And if you don't like it, then now you know. But that's not the topic of today. That's true. Monkey better try to keep things on topic, huh? Just a little. Then I noticed all my vids pop back up when I was spamming refresh. Oh. Okay, so if you say Itachi Uchiha, he does not... If you search Itachi Uchiha, he does not use a yukata or kimono per se, but I think I've seen it in that too. want you to click on is an image of him where he has his arm resting in front of him, resting on the clothing. Just like Gintama here, right? He does that. Let me see if I can find an image for you. Itachi Uchiha. Okay. Oh, I think I see what you mean. Kind of like this one? This one here? Yeah, he's doing the same thing as Gintama here, except that his cloak is yofuku. It's technically Western clothing as far as I can tell. But he's emulating in a way the old feeling of kimono to give him a certain atmosphere. It's a very, how you say, casual, manly thing to do, to put your arms inside your kimono like this. Just like Gintama here. Yep. It said they were public, but they weren't. Oh, maybe YouTube could having trouble? My question is, if this was a thing people did, or just something strange Itachi did. No, this is a thing that, this is a thing you can still do technically when you're wearing kimono in the masculine style. If you look here, you'll notice that the feminine style of kimono, the obi, the belt here, is a lot higher up than the masculine style, and it's all a little bit tighter around the middle. Whereas, here's a good one too. You can see masculine style kimono has this nice big pouch feeling in the front here. And the sleeves in general, whether they're masculine or feminine style, tend to have very wide holes, so you can easily bring your arm inside, and for men, place it on this part right here, and basically the obi will take the weight of your arm. And so that's why in Gintama here you can see he has an obi as well as a western belt here, but that's what's taking the weight of his arm as he tucks it inside. It's considered not necessarily a very proper thing to do nowadays, probably. Or even back in the day. It's a very casual thing to do, but very, very masculine, very casual. Gintama is actually quite specifically an example of not giving it 3 episodes, as the first 3 of the anime are anime original. Oh! And non-canon to the rest of the series. Oh, interesting! Do you have a recommendation point then, Chatter? For where people should look at Gintama? if they're interested in it? So I started download the streams and uploading them as vids. Smart idea. Hello, I see you're doing important research. It's true, Vesquid. Hello, welcome. Yeah, today we're gonna try to keep it mostly on topic if possible. In terms of kimono basics and yukata for today, because I really want my goal for this stream is for at least some of you to leave going, hey, yukata seems pretty cool. I would like to try that. I would like to try wearing yukata. And to also feel like I think I know where to start, you know? I went on a vid in private and then put it as public and it popped back up. Oh, that's good. Sounds like something weird happened to your account. Yes, I see both characters doing it. Is this a common thing? Common enough, I guess. Like I said, it has a certain feeling to it. So, I wouldn't say everyone does it, but it is kinda comfy, you know? In a casual setting, you might do it. It's kind of, nowadays, associated with kind of like cool guy, masculine rogue types. I guess. At least in anime. So I did it for all the streams and I was saved. So yeah, fun day. Oh, I see. Now let's look at waifus in kimono. Oh dear, Cookie. So you're resting your arms in your kimono is a masculine projecting thing? Kind of. Well, women's kimono doesn't have that possibility in the first place, I guess. There's no way you could get your arm into the front very comfortably there. You can see the obi. Where was this picture that has so I'll make it bigger. Can I make it bigger? No, that's alright. As you can see, the masculine style kimono has the obi resting right here underneath the belly, actually. Traditionally, having a little bit of like a fake belly coming up from your kimono front is considered very fashionable. Very fashionable. So this belt actually rests right underneath your belly, right on your hip bones if you have a masculine type body. And so when you stick your arm, you just pull your arm into your sleeve because the sleeves are quite large. You just pull your arm into your sleeve and then tuck it into the front here, behind the front flap, and it'll pop out over here. And then you see that's a very comfortable position for your arm because that's roughly where your elbow would be. And your arm is just kind of hanging out there by your belly. You can actually try doing that yourself right now. If you basically hug yourself with one arm, that's about where your your arm would be sitting, right? Just like Gintama here. I guess his name is Gintoki. I just call him Gintama. Just like that. Whereas for the feminine style kimono, your elbow is down here. And the only place you could fit your arm would be up here. There's not much room. There's not much room. And unlike the masculine kimono that's meant to be baggy, feminine style kimono is supposed to be somewhat pulled in to a tube shape. You see all these tube shaped ladies, right? And so there's not a lot of space inside of there. You can see her elbows down here. She wouldn't really be able to put her arm in here very comfortably. So it's just not something that, first of all, is a capability if you're dressing too much feminine style. However, I have seen plenty of female identified people wearing masculine style kimono who also like this aesthetic because it's a very confident sort of butch sort of way of holding yourself, I guess. That's pretty cool. I would totally be the guy doing that if we wore those. Not gonna lie, when I was younger, I did it using a jacket and people stared at me weirdly. Yeah, there's not as much of a culture of that with yofuku, right? I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that yofuku, the sleeves tend to be very tight, right, in Western clothing. So pulling your arm in doesn't tend to be very easy or natural. Whereas for kimono, actually, let's see if I can get a good photo of this, what I'm talking about. You see how kimono sleeves, they're actually just square pieces of cloth I might have mentioned before. Square pieces of cloth dangling down here on either side. It's a little hard to see when someone's wearing it, but when it's not on someone, you might be able to see it better. But you can see these square pieces of cloth, and the sleeve hole is pretty large. So these are often used as pockets. So sticking your arms inside of your kimono sleeves is actually very common. You could do it by putting, your right arm in your left sleeve or your left arm in your right sleeves to drop things in there. But traditionally, you would also just pull your arm in and drop something in there when you wanted to. Oh, it's kind of small, but you can kind of see it here too. These are all Oh, these are all onsen yukata, in fact. Very cute, very cute. So yeah, so that's what's going on there. Ah, lullaby hype. I wonder if I can find. These days, it can be hard to find images with both male style kimono and female style kimono together. These are jinbei. They're all so cute. They look like this. This is what I was talking about. For children and masculine style adults, jinbei is also a great alternative to yukata for summer wear. It's got a wrap top like this. The sleeves don't dangle as much, and you have these sort of shorts on the bottom, made of very light material. These are also considered wafuku, and occasionally also considered kimono, because kimono, technically, if you look at the characters, just means thing that you wear. So it's any wafuku is sometimes you might say. But that's jinbei. Yukata. This is a decent image, if not for the sample across the top, showing both styles. I guess it's my turn to ask a potentially silly question. Is there a more feminine equivalent? Of a way to rest your arm, or of what in particular, Shatter? I guess something that a mannerism, I suppose, that comes with kimono that women tend to do more than men traditionally. Though it's not so based on the kimono shape itself, but just, I guess, tradition, is to pull your hands inside your sleeves just a little bit and hold the corners. You might have seen this occasionally in anime, actually. Next time you see it, you know. Now you know. It's just kind of a cute thing to do, I guess. What it is, I think, if I'm making the right associations, and I've never looked this up, I think it has to do with traditional dance, like the geiko, maiko, geisha dances you were talking about, with the Guilty Gear Strive character. A lot of mai dances will hold on to their sleeves as part of the dance, and so it's kind of a sort of a feminine sort of gesture, I guess. Like this. Holding your sleeves like this is somewhat of a feminine gesture. Perhaps. I'm not sure if that's a good equivalent or not, but it's a tidbit. Oh, you know, Google Persona 5 kimono. Is there Persona 5 kimono? Clean. Let's see. Ish. Persona 5 kimono. Oh, how cute! How cute! I'm seeing like this. It looks like most of these are for New Year's visit. Either New Year's visit or coming of age, but I would say New Year's visit is my guess. Very cute, very cute. Yes, this is full kimono, and furthermore, it's one of the fancier kinds of kimono. So, you know, if you want to go fancy, you can think about this kind of stuff. Oh, these look like yukata though. Yeah, this looks like yukata. So I guess they wear yukata as well. I was trying to do a kimono. I was trying to a 3D model. The other day for VR chat. So this would be useful info. Oh yes. Hopefully you learned some nice stuff. I'm not planning to spend too much time on more complicated kimono right now, because I think yukata really is the best place to start. It's the simplest and the most casual. And there's a lot of opportunity to wear it in the summer, especially to summer festivals and such. So I think it's a great way to get into it. And then once you get the basics of yukata, it's much easier to tackle the sort of crazy fancy stuff you see here, where right now you're like, there is a lot going on. Like, what is this? What is this? What is that? What's going on here? There's a lot to learn. Like, what is happening to this obi back here? But the yukata are a much simpler place to start. Once you get the basics down there, it's easy to graduate to more complicated kimono. Since there is a great scene during the third semesters where all the characters go to a shrine wearing kimono during New Year IDK. Oh yeah. Exactly. New Year shrine visits are a very common reason for people to wear kimono these days. I don't know why. Oh no, it's just cultural. It's very common. It's the thing that people do. New Year's is the biggest holiday in Japan, followed by Obon. And so it's a holiday where people all get dressed up really fancy and get ready for the new year. So one of those is shrine visits, and dressing up in kimono is some stuff that you can do. The art is really cool though. It is. Everyone hugs themselves. Yeah. Sorry, I'm late, ready to learn. Professor Paul, hello, welcome. Today is a relatively unguided lesson. I don't have a strict lesson plan or slides or anything, so feel free to cut in with questions at any time. Mostly that's what we've been doing so far. Though I should probably lay down a baseline of some form soon. But today's focus is yukata. What's the punishment for being late for class? I guess the punishment is that you missed what we already said, so you're gonna have to go back and watch the VOD later. I don't know about punishment. Name on the board. Oh dear. The punishment is brewing the tea for next time. Ah! That seems very appropriate, Shatter. I like it. Can definitely do that. Oh, thank you, Professor Paul. Very kind of you. Lullaby hype don't care about punishment. Oh boy, I'm behind. Let me catch up. Hello, no. Hello, everyone. Oh, hello, Cuckoo. Welcome. Good to see you. Ah, I love those. Which ones? Professor Paul? Can I send a link to an image for review? For review? It's a bunch of male anime characters from a show I watched. Oh, curious if you have a say in what they're wearing. Oh, sure. I guess I'm a little curious, so please feel free. Hello. I hope not to get too sidetracked, but we don't have again a real lesson plan for today, so as long as it's on topic, I'm curious. Hello. I see a bunch of cute people. Hey, Hiki, hello. I see another cute one just wandered in. Welcome. Good to see you. There are events in Persona 5 for both summer and New Year's, so both yukata and kimono can be on full display. Nice. Yeah, if you think about the times in a Japanese person's life within the most recent generation, where they would have had the most contact with kimono, it would be New Year's for the fancy kimono, Obon and summer festivals for the yukata, followed by special holidays like once-in-a-lifetime holidays such as coming of age and Shichigo-san. So, the familiarity with kimono tends to be very limited these days to actually only yukata, the most casual, and fancy kimono for things like New Year's and holidays. However, there is a resurgence of kimono fashion that, fingers crossed, I'm hoping is gonna keep going strong. There is a resurgence because kimono was worn every day as everyday clothing in Japan up until about 2 generations ago. And so it's not inconceivable that it would come back. It's not been gone that long. Most young people at least, their grandparents probably still wear kimono or were wearing kimono quite a lot. Yeah, this is just introduction. Introduction. And there are events in P4 as celebration during New Year too. Yeah, the P4 girls do summer and New Year's as well. Nice, nice. I see she's at past. I'm sorry, Eihiki. I won't be able to chat before I sleep. Pain Peko. Oh no, Eihiki. I mean, before I leave. I'm sorry to hear that, Eihiki. I'm sorry, I'm always so behind. But thank you for coming anyway. Oh, Akechi looks so cute in kimono. Wait, which one is this Akechi you keep talking about? Cookie. Which one is Akechi? I don't see. Amami-aren. I don't know. Aisha. I was referring to Jinbei. Ah, I see. Yes, Jinbei are nice, right? They're comfy and you can run around in them. Where was that picture? It was down here somewhere, maybe. Oh, there's more onsen yukata. To explain what I mean by onsen yukata, sort of like these over here, or these with the haori on, which is the jacket, the haori. Onsen yukata are a little bit different from sort of everyday and festival yukata, because, as the name implies, they're meant specifically for when you're at like a bath. Yukata, the name itself, you can kind of see the kanji up here. Yukata actually means bath clothing. Originally, all yukata was this bath clothing style. And people would wear it when they were going to the public baths. Which is still somewhat common in Japan, but it's sort of slowly going out of fashion as more and more people get baths at home. But when you were going out to the public bath, you wanted something light and easy to put on and take off, and so you would wear these yukata. But as time went on, as fashion will go, yukata started getting more fancy, and they're great. They're great for just lounging in because they're typically a single layer of nowadays cotton cloth. So they're very light and airy, like you mentioned earlier, Shatter. Great for summer. And so people started, making fancier ones and wearing them out for festivals and stuff. And so this kind of yukata, typically you'll see it, it will have sort of this monotone sort of all over pattern. And a very simple obi belt that is thin, regardless of whether it's masculine style or feminine style, actually. You can't see it too well in the other photo, I suppose, because the haori is covering it. But you see this? Even more so, these, you can kind of tell they're at a ryokan, a Japanese style onsen bathhouse inn. It's mostly for lounging in, whereas these other types of yukata are for going out in. It can be a little bit, it can can be a little bit difficult to tell the difference when you're first getting into it. So, I wouldn't worry about it too much because most of the time this is what you'll encounter, this kind of thing. But the normal kind of yukata. But feel free to ask me if you're like, I'm not sure which one this is, because you can see these are also monotone all over patterns, but these are not how you say, these are not for onsen. I wish I had a better way of telling you what the difference is. It's actually a lot easier to tell not from drawn images, but from if you see the actual items, the actual pieces themselves. I'm off track. Let me get back to chat. Oh my goodness, I'm so behind. I'm sorry. Tiny URL. Okay, the image for review. Let me know if you got a favorite look. All right, let me take a look. Wait. This one. Oisho. This is the image that Ryder sent. Let's see. So fashion. Yeah, none of these guys is wearing yukata, as you can tell. Some of them have on these hakama pants and haori jackets, and it's all very fashion. There's a tie here. I'm a big fan of scarves personally. They've got some soft obi going on. Pretty cool stuff. I like the fashion in general. It's a lot of fun to play around with. Actually, this guy here might be wearing... Well, it's hard to tell. It's probably not yukata. He's only got one layer on though, which is very casual. It's very interesting. Okay. Oh, and forgot to mention there are also kimono in Persona 5 Strikers. Oh, since the Phantom Thieves go on a trip all around Japan. Oh, nice. Okay, I won't interfere more. I'm starting to become that kid that hogs the teacher all to themselves. Oh dear. I do want to go from the basics to color me glued to the screen. Okay, sounds good. Hello, cultured people. Gabby, hello, welcome. Good to see you. How are you doing? Brown hair cute. Is that the Persona 5 person? I don't know. They're all very cute. I'm not sure. Hello, girlfriend. How art thou? Hello. Just Google Akechi Kimono. Okay. But maybe another time, Cookie. I am starting to get a little off track here. Hey there, Ryder. I'm doing great today. How about you? Oh, that's good. The first result looks very cute. All's good when all is here. Welcome to class. Sit down and let's learn about yukata. Also, you're making tea next week for us. Oh dear. The tea buck has been passed. Maybe you're both on tea duty next week. Can work together. I had class all day. I'm afraid my brain has gone smooth. Time to relax and process, Gabby. I think as the job of the moderator, Ryder needs to be making tea and setting up. I don't know about that, Cookie. Okay, I'll brew the tea. Secretly grab the store-bought. What's wrong with store-bought tea? All tea is good tea. Or wait, do you mean pre-made tea? Tea's not that hard, Gabby. Why is the second guy's eyes upside down, though? Eh? I don't know about upside down. He just has different eyes than everyone else. He has a lot of very prominent lower lashes. Speaking of the color of yukata, you mentioned there's a rather specific way of dressing depending on the season a while ago. Yes. Something about being unable to compete with nature's color palette. Ah, yes and no. So there's two philosophies on this actually. It depends on how deep you want to go into fashion. So, number one rule of Japanese fashion, and this still somewhat applies today even if you're wearing yofuku. Number one rule is be seasonally appropriate. So wear things that match the season. For example, what's a good example? So there's a lot of sakura here, which doesn't match the season but is overall a lucky symbolism for Japanese symbolism in general, so that's always fine. But over here you'll see this pattern here is a morning glory, I believe they call it, kikyo. I think. Wait, morning glory. No, kikyo is a different one. I think this is the morning glory. This one also has morning glory. It's a little harder to see. And that is a summer pattern because these are summer flowers. Let's see. These are just cute. With yukata being very casual, you can actually get almost anything on it. It's a lot of fun. Because when it's casual, you know, you have fun with it, right? But you still see here, this character in the middle, she's also got some morning glory on her. And oh, this here, these birds, I think they're swallows, I believe, is a summer pattern. And the blue with the wavy lines is evocative of cooling water, right? Because summer, especially in Japan, can get very, very hot. So that's very seasonally appropriate. Yukata themselves are already seasonally appropriate for summer because they give off a very light feeling. More morning glory back here, you can see. They give off a very light and cooling feeling. This guy here, you can see he has snowflakes. Now the ironic part about summer and seasonal patterns is that you can have things like snowflakes even though they're evocative of a different season because it's very cooling and therefore appropriate for summer as well. You'll notice that feminine style kimono tend to have bigger, bolder patterns with a lot more flowers and other things on it, whereas masculine style kimono, oh, this is not very big, but this works. Masculine style kimono tend to go for more of the all over geometric patterns or very subtle patterns. Now that's an artifact of history as well, dating back to the Edo period, where there's a style of fashion called iki, where the outside is plain. It's sort of like trying not to be too flashy, to be like, oh, nothing going on here. But then the inside is just like, wow! It's a specific kind of fashion that's kind of hard to describe, but you'll get it the more that you see it. And men's fashion, well, people's fashion in general, tended towards this iki fashion, both feminine style and masculine style. But masculine style held onto it a lot more strongly than feminine style. For feminine style, bright and flashy colors really came back in fashion once the sumptuary laws allowed it again. Especially for young looking feminine style, as opposed to more mature feminine style. I got off track. What was I answering? Palette definitely. There's a thing about palette. Again, yukata being very casual, you can go with almost any color. But you can think about it as there are certain colors that are more appropriate for certain seasons, right? Even in the summer, some of the most appropriate colors are going to be cooling colors, right? Though bright colors are appropriate for things like festivals, because that's fun. In the spring, you have like soft spring colors, and in the winter, you have warm, deep colors. But the main thing often tends to be the motif, the designs as well. And that's where I was talking about getting really deep into fashion. If you're normal fashion, then what you want to do is always be appropriate to the current season. And in traditional Chinese and Japanese culture, there are 72 micro seasons that you could be appropriate to if you really wanted to. So there's the macro seasons of the four macro seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter, which are slightly differently calculated in the Chinese calendar than in the Gregorian calendar, because they cut at, I believe they cut at the solstices and equinoxes rather than around them. But either way, one's one, one's the other. But it's the same 4 categories as a macro season, and then you can break those up into the, what was it? Like 24, I think? There's 24 like normal seasons, I think, and then 72 micro seasons. And each of these have different motifs that are appropriate for them. So like, if you look at this girl with the swallows... Oh, these are bunnies. Bunnies are great for autumn, by the way. Just FYI. But the swallows, and there was a bigger picture down here, yeah. The swallows are actually for like perhaps a particular micro season. I don't know the details to that level because I never really learned it properly. And most people aren't looking at it that closely. But one of the easiest things to think about is it reflects nature. So when the flowers bloom, that's the appropriate season for them. And when certain animals come out, that's the appropriate season for them too. Like, I don't see any right now in this set, but there's often, I like personally dragonfly motifs for summer. Goldfish motifs for summer, especially for festivals, is a good one. This one's a little blurry, but you can kind of see she's got some goldfish on there. This one's just got goldfish around. That's different. But goldfish are associated with summer festivals. And also cooling because they swim in the water. Oh, here's another goldfish you can kind of see. So just thinking about things like that can make you fashionable. And if you want to go 100% all in on the fashion, which can happen, if you're like really into it, then what you want to do is you want to always be one step ahead of nature. Just barely, just barely. My favorite example of this is cherry blossom season. Leading up to cherry blossom season, you can wear lots and lots of cherry blossoms on branches. Cherry blossoms without branches, like you can see the sort of the ones you see a lot of here that are kind of more like cherry blossom symbols, those are basically always appropriate. But if they're on branches, it sort of stops being the symbol and starts being the cherry blossom itself, I guess you could say. And in that case, you can wear it, wearing it right before the cherry blossoms bloom gives a nice sense of anticipation, being like, guys, it's almost cherry blossom season, you know? But then as soon as the cherry blossoms bloom, you don't want to be wearing those anymore because you don't want to compete with nature. You don't want to say, oh yeah, Hanami is nice and all, but look at me. Look at my kimono. Isn't that nicer? Sort of feeling. these days, nobody, very few people are that into fashion, right? It's like in the West, there's a lot of strange fashion rules that I don't know if people follow, like don't wear white after Labor Day or something like that. I don't really know. Most people don't really follow. But if you want to be 100% on top of fashion, then when the cherry blossoms bloom, you want to start wearing kimono that have cherry blossom petals falling, anticipating when the blossoms fall. Or maybe no cherry blossoms at all, just to not compete with the cherry blossoms that are on the trees. So there's a lot of fashion options. We stand scarves, yes. Scarves, by the way, hot tip. Scarves are amazing for kimono. They are not traditional, they are yofuku, but the thing about kimono is that, I don't know, scarves and kimono look really good together, first of all. And second of all, it's very practical. Because, so, masculine style kimono has maybe a little bit less of a problem with this. But if you look, let me see if I can get a photograph. Especially in yukata, you can see how there's all this, like, empty space here where you could get cold. And if we go back and look at actually the persona, these winter outfits, you can see there's still a lot of empty space here, and your neck can get really cold. For masculine, oops, wrong one. For masculine style kimono, let me see if I can get a side view. Side view? No. Side view. Masculine style kimono, the collar sits right on the back of your neck, which is convenient. Convenient, let's just say. But in the winter, that'll give you a little bit of protection from the cold. But feminine style kimono, you wear set back from your neck a little bit, because this is the back of the neck is considered a very it's considered a charm point for feminine aesthetic. And so you'll see the kimono collar right here does not actually touch her neck. I wonder if I can get another angle on it. And so see here too, doesn't touch the neck. And so in the winter, you see here, does not touch the neck. In the winter, also here you can kind of see, does not touch the neck. And so you get cold, which is why you see a common thing, since New Year's is in winter, is to wear these stoles, for example, or to wear a nice scarf. Covers all that up, keeps you nice and warm. Yeah. I'll go back to this one for now. Scarf plus kimono is a great combo. Yeah. I like it a lot. Yeah, a lot of yofuku winter wear doesn't work very well with kimono because the sleeves are not built for the big ol'... There's a lot of cloth in kimono sleeves. Which can be difficult to fit with Western clothing. When you wear the hoodie style kimono I was talking about, you put the hoodie inside actually, so the hood comes out the back. Which is also super cozy, by the way. But scarves, they're perfect synergy. Yeah, everyone vibed with my favorite character, Scarf Boy. Time to let Nal get so into talking about this stuff that she forgets we exist. I'm so sorry, I'm behind. I'll admit, hearing her go into this shows how passionate she is about the subject. I quite enjoy it. I'm glad to hear that, Shatter. Even though this has become more of a TSNL rants about kimono rather than a structured lesson, but... Hello again and good morning now. Hello, Cheeto! Good morning! Yeah, we could tell this day was coming. She was holding back so hard whenever this topic came up before. Needed a whole stream dedicated to it. Glad it finally arrived. I'm ready to learn. Thank you, Ryder. Thank you. Hopefully we can have more of these kinds of streams in the future too, because I'm pretty sure I could go on about this for a very long time. The passion is definitely great for teaching. Well, I'm sleeping now. Night, everyone. Okay, Cookie. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Good night, Cookie. The character in the snowflake Yukata is actually themed around snow. Oh, that's perfect. This one? Ah, see, he's on theme. His very existence. Oh, I like that philosophy for the geometric patterns. 72. Yeah, 72 micro seasons. That's a lot of wardrobe variety. Well, if you think about it, back in the day, you didn't have yofuku, so you would wear kimono. 72 kimono. How many pieces of clothing do you suppose you own? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about that. We need bigger closets. You're telling me, Professor. I may or may not have a closet problem right now. We're not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna have to go. I got a lot of sleep to recover from last night. Oh, okay. Good sleeps, Cuckoo. Bye, everyone. Have a good one. Good night. I hope you sleep well. Hey, Mo. Do you happen to know if swallows have any special meaning in Japanese or Chinese culture? The curiosity just popped in my mind. The thing I most know about them is that they have an association with summer. Summer specifically. I'm not having anything pop to mind immediately, though I'm sure there are some other associations as well. Why do in anime they portray most anime couples, as if they're so innocent and pure whenever they wear a yukata and go to a festival? All that blushing and hand-holding is cringe, lol. Aw, I don't like calling things cringe here, Chito. I think it's not very respectful, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with it. I would say a lot of that has to do with cultural difference as well. Because in Japan, any form of public displays of affection is very uncommon, actually. Bordering on inappropriate. And so that sort of romantic feeling of first love is probably what you're talking about with festival anime tends to be for younger high schoolers and stuff, right? And so there's that tender first love feeling combined with the very conservative culture results in cute sort of puppy love stories. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just the way the culture is. Come now, let the youth have some innocence. Exactly. But I've gotta admit, all those anime yukata festival art looks beautiful. Well, now loves Itachi. Eh? Oh, I guess you weren't here earlier, Chito. Someone asked me to look up Itachi because we were talking about certain mannerisms that people adopt when wearing kimono. Yes, now rants about kimono hype. Oh, I'm glad you think so. Hey, I want to hear about Nell's closet problem. I want to see fashion. Oh boy. Let's just say I have a fashion problem, and we'll leave it at that. In terms of folklore, the one thing that pops to mind in terms of swallows in Japanese folklore is the story of Sasaki Hojiro and the Tsubame Gaeshi. But I'm unsure if that's too significant. Oh, Tsubame Gaeshi. I don't know. I do think now that you mention it, Tsubame's kind of a lucky animal, but there's a lot of lucky animals in Asian culture. Come to think of it, there was another one. Was it a swallow though? I'm trying to remember. Something about a bird's nest and Princess Kaguya, I think. Like trying to get a stone out of a bird's nest. But I'm hazy on the details right now. Holding hands and blushing is one of the sweetest, cutest moments with a crush, especially if you're young. I think it's adorable. I see. Oh, Gwen, hello! I love hearing all the details about kimono, traditional and alternative styles included. I'm late to this stream, so I'm gonna have to watch the archive later. Welcome! No problem. Today's kimono deep dive is relatively unstructured. So, right now, up until now really, we've mostly been going based off of the questions that people have posed to me, and so I've been going through and answering those questions. But I can also get into some of the basics of the details of what makes yukata, and how it's worn, and a bit more of a pointing out a bit more of, say, the gender differences that we've touched on so far, and things like that. As I said, my goal is to make some of you interested, saying, hey, I kinda like this idea. I kinda wanna wear some yukata. Especially because it's summer in the northern hemisphere, and therefore the perfect season for it. Though of course, for those of you in the southern hemisphere, summer is not too far away. And yukata is good loungewear as well. It doesn't have to be just for the summer. Have we touched on yukata footwear yet? Sandals and geta and such? Not yet. It's a good one to point out, in fact. So one thing you'll notice with yukata footwear in general is that typically with yukata, you will wear traditional footwear. With other styles of kimono, wearing Western style shoes is not uncommon. It can be used for fashion reasons, but similarly for fashion reasons, Western shoes tend to be kinda heavy for yukata, which are very light and airy, right? That being said, Western sandals work just fine actually. You don't need to have special geta or anything like that to wear with your yukata. You can just wear sandals. In fact, if you look at this guy's sandals, this is what I would consider a hybrid Japanese style sandal, Western style sandal. Because it's got that sort of same look with the one piece on the bottom, probably made of wood, and this hanao, the strap here. However, in a Japanese traditional geta, the hanao would be centered on the block of wood, as opposed to set to the side where the big toe is. It would be right in the center, and in fact, it's considered fashionable when wearing traditional Japanese footwear for your little toes to hang off a little bit, and even your heel, though you can't see right here. But there's a lot of these days that are sort of hybrid style, because people kind of like the look of them, you know? I wonder if we can find some traditional style ones. These look pretty hybrid style to me. Yeah, this one also. Though an interesting thing to note is that feminine style shoes, in general, Japanese shoes, tend to have rounded like this. Tend to be rounded. Whereas if you see here, his are more square. That's a traditional sort of gender difference. And the hanao here, these tend to be made of cloth actually. So they're very comfortable, much more comfortable than, say, Western flip-flops. I'm I never really liked Western flip-flops for a long time because I felt they were kind of uncomfortable. But these never gave me any problem. Because they were soft cloth. Also, Japanese style shoes, because they're supposed to be like the way that the ankle hangs off and stuff like that, actually makes them not flip or flop at all if you walk properly. The flipping and flopping is not ideal. Not ideal in Japanese culture. Though flip-flops, I mean, they'll work fine. I wonder if we can find some nice Geta pictures. So, why am I saying Geta? Geta is, there are many types of Japanese traditional footwear, but the most common types are Zori, Seta, and Geta. Zori are kind of a overall umbrella term, I think, when it comes to Japanese footwear, and it's any sort of like footwear of this sort of shape where there's a base that you stand on and these cloth hanal for your toes. Seta specifically, the underside is made of leather. There's like a leather sole on the bottom, and Geta specifically Seta also tend to have a tatami sort of top, made of what do they call them? Rushes? Weaved rush mats, tatami, on top and then leather on the bottom. Whereas Zori are often like cork covered in cloth and stuff like that. And Geta specifically are made of wood. If it's made of wood, then it's Geta. And Geta tend to be the most appropriate for Yukata because one, they're extremely casual. They're extremely casual, and so is Yukata. And two, I don't know why actually. they're just comfortable, and the thing about Geta is Geta you don't have to wear with socks. Traditional Japanese socks, tabi, you can almost think of them as like part of the shoe. You're expected to wear tabi all the time in colder seasons. It's considered respectful. But with Geta, you can wear tabi, but you don't have to. Whereas Zori or Seta, if you don't wear tabi, it doesn't feel quite right. It's only now I realize I should have been taking notes. Oh dear. Notes, huh? Have I said anything informative or useful yet? I hope so. Western flip-flops are torture devices. Oh, I've lost too much flesh to them. It's true. My last memory of wearing flip-flops is having to run 2 miles in them. Oh my goodness. Never again. Oh no. Yeah. I will say, the one thing that has kind of started to change my opinion on Western flip-flops is Brazilian flip-flops. Brazilian flip-flops are now my gold standard. They are well made and they're actually pretty comfortable. I don't know why no one else makes them this way, but if they're the Brazilian Havaianas, then I will be okay with them. Otherwise, no. You know, guys, I've always wanted to go to a Japanese festival and try all those Japanese foods. That's my favorite part of a festival. There's no reason to hide it. You all expected it. The best part about festivals is trying all the foods. All the foods. Foods. there's usually sweet foods and savory foods, all sorts of good things. That's my favorite part. Unfortunately, I have to go now. Oh, okay. Love listening to you talking about this now. Oh, it's always lovely to hear someone talk about something they love. Have a great stream. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope to see you again soon. Takoyaki has always looked so appealing. Taiyaki as well. Oh yes. Oh yes. I love both of these things so much. Oh. When takoyaki is made just right too. Like, I've had all kinds of takoyaki, and a lot of them are like, okay. But when it's made just right, where the inside is still this like mushy, sort of juicy almost, with the nice tender taco inside, but the outside is got this very like almost paper thin, firm, almost crispy outside, and you pick it up. You might see this in some very detailed anime. You pick it up with a toothpick, and because of its structure, it almost like sags a little bit because the inside is heavy and soft. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Taiyaki also. Taiyaki, most of the taiyaki I've had is pretty mediocre, but it's shaped like a fish. Like, what am I gonna do? I can't say no to that. It's just good. I mean, there's no mistake. It's just good. I want taiyaki so badly. I would say you might be able to make it at home, but I don't know if you wanna dish out for a fish-shaped, basically a fish-shaped omelet grill. Or not omelet grill, waffle grill is basically all you need there. You can make the batter and get some anko to fill it with, and good stuff. Dorayaki is a good one to make at home though, because you don't need a special material for it, since the outsides are just basically like, kind of like pancakes. Nina is shocked right now. Isn't that what all the takodachi is about? The takoyaki? Do they really sell barbecue squids at a Japanese festival? They can. It's not really barbecue, because barbecue is a different style of cooking. It's more like grilled squid. Good stuff. I want a taiyaki press just to make fish-shaped pancakes. I understand. The taiyaki you had is mediocre. Something seems fishy here. A little fishy. It was a little fishy, in fact. In the end, taiyaki is kind of just like red bean filled pancake, right? So, even the mediocre red bean filled pancake is pretty darn good, I will say. I would enjoy it either way. But that's exactly why I think there was nothing fancy about it, right? They didn't try to make it especially high quality or anything. I think they could have done more, but they didn't, and that's okay. Also, what do you call that fish-shaped looking bread? Ah, taiyaki! That's what we're talking about, Chito. Taiyaki. Taiyaki, the tai actually refers to the type of fish. I think tai is sea bream, if I remember correctly. I never remember the names of fishes in English. But tai is a type of fish that the taiyaki is shaped like. And yaki just means fry. Like okonomiyaki, takoyaki, teriyaki. What else is there? Yakitori. All of these yaki means well, it's a style of grilling or frying. Alright, let me drink a little water. Yuki is anything but yucky, huh? Dear, oh dear. Professor Paul, you have no idea how many times I have heard that joke from my papa. I feel like he thinks it never gets old. And you know, I guess maybe it doesn't. What is the name of that melon-looking bread with ice cream inside? Ice cream? Ice cream. I don't know of any melon-looking bread with ice cream inside. I know melonpan. Melonpan is a type of bread. There's nothing inside though. It looks like a melon shape on top though, so they call it melonpan because melon means melon, and pan means bread, based on the French bread, pan. In I think China, Hong Kong, they also have a similar related thing called pineapple bread. It has a crust on top. It's the same sort of idea. I think it originally came from the Portuguese, but I'm not entirely sure of that one. The heritage of melonpan. But I've never heard of one with ice cream inside. Oh no, I'm a papa. It's okay, it's okay. We are all dads here. Nothing wrong with that. Take pride. A bona fide dad joke then. Oh. yeah. Mochi ice cream maybe. Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing. Like the ice cream balls with a very thin layer of mochi around the outside. I always thought they were kind of funny because they more look like mochi than are mochi. Frozen mochi is not very mochi. If we're talking about texture, but they're the same shape and size, so and also quite tasty, so not complaining. Oh, I see. Wait, is this? Ah, these leaves are also sort of a summer theme. If I were to guess, this is pampas grass, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay. So yukata, huh? This is what yukata looks like in anime. Maybe we can show a few pictures of yukata in in real life, so you get a good feeling for how that translates to this. So I got this here. Brace yourselves, the real people are coming. I don't know why, but this picture in particular is the top for both Yukata Wikipedia in English as well as Japanese. But it's not a bad photo because it shows both basic types. The masculine style and the feminine style. But I feel like we can do better. Oh no, 3D, you real people. Aww. Be nice, be nice. It's not their fault they're real people. Would something like a firework-esque pattern work on a summer yukata? Or is it a nature-exclusive thing? Oh, shatter. Oh, shatter. Yes, fireworks are incredible. Is this one fireworks? Nope, this is yukiwa. These are traditional Japanese-style snowflakes, actually. We saw the Western-style snowflakes on the other guy's yukata. But this one's, Japanese-style snowflakes. But yes, fireworks patterns? Yes, 100% appropriate. I may or may not own yukata with fireworks patterns. We won't worry about that. They're great, though. Yukata are great to have fun with. This one has kitty cat patterns on it. This one has hydrangea, which is very, very seasonal, and kitty cats. Fashion. But yes, fireworks would be very appropriate for summer. Very summer motif. Nature tends to feature a lot on yukata just because Japanese culture has more kitty cats. That Japanese culture has a very strong emphasis on sort of relationship to nature and the beauty of nature, which I very much enjoy. But that doesn't mean that you can't have other things. In fact, speaking of ikki again, where you have the very simple outside and fancy inside, one of the ways that masculine style kimono embody this is that oftentimes on the inside of the jacket or on the under kimono, which we won't get into too much today because yukata is a single layer. You don't have to wear anything under it except for, I would recommend a v-neck t-shirt, because you see these collars can come down pretty far in the front, especially if you're wearing masculine style kimono. They can come down pretty far in the front. So a crew neck doesn't work as well, though it'll be just fine if that's all you have. But I recommend like a v-neck t-shirt and boxers or some other form of underwear, just so that your sweat doesn't go directly onto the yukata itself. This in traditional Japanese clothing, this layer would be called the hadajuban, the skin underclothing, the underclothing that touches your skin. And so, while it's not entirely necessary, even for yukata, you don't even have to wear that. You can wear yukata all by itself, nothing underneath it. I recommend it just because, you know, summer is hot. And so it's nice to have that extra layer to soak things up. To wick away the bodily fluids and keep your yukata nice and pristine, you know? Gasp. Well, kitty kimono, I love it. Yes, kitties are a major theme in modern day kimono. If you're getting kimono with new fashion patterns on it, kitties everywhere. It's incredible. It will usually bump the price, I will warn you. Having kitties on your kimono will sometimes bump the price because of the high demand, you might say. But it's quite nice. Quite people playing around with the different themes. Oh right, I was going to say, oh she's not a real person. She's got kitties though. I was going to say, in masculine style kimono, the underclothing or the inside of the jacket will often have patterns. And especially people played around with those because since they're not visible, you can be more flashy, right? You can wear things that might be too eye-catching if they were on the outside. And so throughout history, you actually can see a lot from specifically masculine juban and masculine haori jackets, because on the inside they'll have these all sorts of modern patterns. There are airplanes and spaceships and things like that. It's really cool stuff. The main question is, do they still wear yukata in today's Japanese festival? Yes. Yes, definitely. So, Japanese summer festivals are one of the few places where the young generation in Japan will still be wearing kimono. It's considered very appropriate, first of all, for summer festivals. And it's kind of like when you dress up for a summer festival, like this. It's one of your few excuses to go out in kimono nowadays, because kimono aren't worn as often, right? Though they are coming back, and you know, fingers crossed, that's gonna keep going. But it's considered. Let's put it this way: there was a recent survey of Japanese youths as to whether or not they want to wear kimono, and the majority answer was yes, we want to wear kimono, but we're a little afraid that we won't know how to do it. And so it's still a very well-loved aesthetic, and since yukata are simple and they're so perfect for Japanese summer, let me tell you, They're so comfortable in the heat and the humidity. It's a perfect excuse to go out and wear it. You will tend to see more female identifying people wearing kimono at festivals, but masculine kimono is not uncommon at festivals either. It's just that, you know, women sometimes on average right now fashion kind of caters to them. And so they have more variety. But yes, going to festivals is nice. In kimono. In yukata specifically. And yes, so that's where you'll usually see. And you can also see a lot of guys will wear things like jinbei as well. Which I showed earlier is usually for children or masculine presenting people, but they're super comfy. I don't see any scrolling through real quick here. But the jinbei, let me see if I can find. That's too small. This one. Yeah, you can. There we go. You can kind of see this kind of thing. Yeah. Summer is hot. Hot take. Summer does tend to be hot. It is a hot take. Oh, I see what you did there. Thumbs up to summer. Now has yukata with banana pattern. Oh, I wish. That would be wonderful. I have yukata in a lot of different patterns actually. I don't have a problem. But I have not seen any with banana quite yet. Oh, I do want to see a banana yukata. It would be cute, right? I imagine I'd be a very space-themed yukata user. Let me think. Have I found any space-themed yukata? I do have some like how you say, the fireworks ones. Not sure if I have anything space specifically. Monkey play Genshin? Oh, hello, Foxy Blue. Hello. I guess it's traditional now. What's traditional? Coming in strong there, Foxy. Trust me, now already knows of Genshin. I know some. I showed some things. It's not a very monkey-friendly game though. It's in its combat. Yeah, I've thought about it a little bit, but I don't have any plans right now. But yes, yukata. That's right. We were talking about. Oh, this is nice. A picture of the back. Oftentimes you don't see, but it's really nice. You can see the different. These are the most traditional obimusubi. Obimusubi. You can think of them as knots or bows, or like when tying a tie. Tying a musubi, which just means a knot, I guess, or something that's tied up. It's kind of like learning to tie a tie. At first, you're like, what is going on? There's so much cloth, this will never work. And then you're like, oh, this is not so bad. And if you do it long enough, especially if you're sticking to the traditional shapes like this, it becomes second nature pretty quickly. And you can see actually their footwear that we were talking about. These sort of wider, rectangular shaped geta on the masculine presenting people, and the rounder, thinner geta on the feminine presenting people. Though it can be a little hard to see, you can kind of see the shape difference. And you can see a little bit that his toe is hanging off the edge here. That's proper. Japan has 4 seasons, right? Ah, we did talk briefly about this just before you came in, Chito. There are 4 macro seasons, which then break down into something like 24 regular seasons, which then break down into 72 micro seasons. These are all based on the Chinese calendar, in fact. Hi, Monkey. Hi, Yuki. Welcome back. Excuse me. So when it comes to what defines yukata, speaking of which, so you kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about with yukata versus other forms of kimono. As you can see, they're made of very light, single-layer cloth. Typically these days cotton. And they have you don't wear anything under them, including you don't need to wear any socks. Except for maybe like the layer I said, you wanna keep them clean. And that's basically it. That's what defines yukata. You can see the sort of light feel that you get from it because of its being one layer. Here's a comparison, actually. The woman on the right is wearing a furisode. We won't worry too much about that, but she's wearing a full fancy kimono. She's got a lot of stuff going on, very thick cloth. It's a little hard to tell here. These are all very fancy full kimono on the other end of the spectrum. And you can see they have sort of a bit of a heavier feel to them, right? There are summer kimono that are not yukata, that do have a lighter feel. But you can see there's more layers and more things going on, and there's the socks. Whereas yukata, it's very light, not too much going on. You can add some decorations here and there. Oops, that's not what I wanted to click on. You can add some decorations here and there, but for the most part, it's very light. Very light. To the Japanese festival in the middle of autumn. So, Japanese summer festivals happen throughout summer, but the high season, in my opinion, is around Obon. Now, Obon is a traditional holiday, and therefore was originally scheduled based on the Chinese calendar. The Chinese calendar, however, has since been replaced in Japan by the Gregorian calendar. And when that shift happened, around Meiji period, I believe, a lot of holidays, a lot of holidays, had to decide which calendar to stick with. For example, New Year's got switched over to the Gregorian calendar, even though the Lunar New Year is still when the sort of animal switches over officially. So depending on what realm you're in, also, if you're in a traditional realm like tea ceremony, it might be a little different. But anyway, we were speaking about Japanese summer festivals. And so the biggest Japanese summer festival tends to be the Obon festival, because it is one of the biggest traditional Japanese holidays. Lasts for like a whole week. And traditionally, this would happen on a certain day on the Chinese calendar. When the Gregorian calendar came along, so it happens mid 8th month, I believe, on the Chinese calendar. Wait, 8th, 7th? 7th or 8th? Monkey can't do numbers. Anyways, there's a time that it happens, which ended up meaning that different prefectures in Japan ended up adopting sort of different ways of doing it. So some people actually celebrate Obon as early as July, mid-July, whereas others celebrate it mid-August. Both of these on the Gregorian calendar, whereas there's also people who still celebrate Obon on the Chinese calendar, which means that on the Gregorian calendar, the dates shift around every year. This year, Obon on the Chinese calendar, I believe, starts today. I think it starts today. I think I calculated that correctly. But it's this week. It's this week. I can't say which one's more popular because it does depend a little on the prefecture, but this is one of the most common types. But because of that, depending on where you are in the country, Obon season is all of July and August. Mm-hmm. Oh, I read autumn as August. Silly me, silly me. Japanese festivals. I mean, Japanese festivals happen throughout the year, depending, but they're more common during warmer seasons, I suppose. Mm-hmm. In autumn, you might get momichigari. Momichigari is kind of like hanami, where hanami is a picnic to go watch the cherry blossoms. Momichigari is a picnic to go watch the red leaves, the momichi leaves for autumn. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Hello. Ah, hello, my goose splice. Welcome, welcome. I'm still trying to compute all this. Please don't worry, Hiki. I will just spew information at you, and if any of it sounds interesting or relevant to you, feel free to hold on to it. Oh, happy Obon. Oh, thank you, Professor Poe. Thank you, thank you. Mm-hmm. The Animal Crossing Obon event starts today. That's all I know. Happy Obon. Thank you, Shatter. Yes, yes. I believe it starts today on the Chinese calendar. Using the Chinese calendar calculation, which I believe is still the most traditional and therefore relatively widely accepted. But the festivals can go on for like 2 months, depending. By the way now, which one do you prefer? Full 4 seasons or the tropical season summer/rainy? I don't know if I have a strong preference, really. Where Monkey grew up on the mountain, we were kind of temperate all year round. So I don't have too much experience with places with very strong seasons. But I like them from the aspect of they're very beautiful and they give you a nice sense of progression of time. So I can't say I have a very strong feeling about that. I want an eggplant horse. But Professor Paul, but then your horse would be very slow. It'd be very cute though, I guess. Traditionally for Obon, what you want to do is you want to make a cucumber horse and an eggplant ox. Because the cucumber horse will be a swift way for your ancestors to make the trip to visit you for Obon. And the eggplant ox can carry a lot of stuff and have a slow, safe journey back to the place that they live now. But I suppose if you like the eggplant horse because it's cute. Maybe that's okay too. We'll make sure to put one out earlier for you, Professor Poe, so that you can make a nice long meandering journey and still get here in time for Obon. Spew informational. Yeah, that's how monkey works. The Obon Space Bun Festival. Ah, I see. I'd still ride an eggplant to go visit now. The cucumber's good too. Get you here fast, and then I'll give you an eggplant for the way home. People should make a festival honoring Nao's space bun. Yep. Call it Obon Space Bun Festival. Oh dear. Okay. So where were we? Defining yukata. So that defines yukata, right? The basically light casual cotton. They look like this. You can try to find more masculine styles too. Like I said, it's a little less common, but it's also coming back. Let's see. Can you kind of see here, kind of see there. Yeah, just to give you an idea of the look and feel of it, you know. some baby styles. Yeah. You can see their shoes again here. Oh, that's it. That's the contract. I'm getting a cucumber. Sounds good, sounds good. Oh, I just saw this. I just want to point this out since we're meandering anyway. I love this. I love this. For festivals, you often bring things like fans and stuff. And you know, in summer you often bring things like fans and stuff anyway. So if you have an uchiwa fan, which is the kind of fan that's got like a big paddle and then a handle, the traditional way of carrying it, which I think is super cute, is to just tuck it back into the back of your obi like this so that the paddle sticks out and the handle's in there. You can see it more clearly with this guy, because masculine style obi tend to be thinner. You can see, you just stick it in like that in the back. It's great. It's great. I love it. I always feel so festive when I'm all dressed up in yukata going to a festival with a nice uchiwa tucked into the back of my obi. Super cute. Yeah. Cute. I'm quite a fan. Quite a fan. Yeah. We can see a little bit of the gender difference here too with the different obi sizes and placement. This one also you can see, again, it should go underneath your belly from if you want to go masculine style. Or you have these very wide obi for feminine style that cover all the way up to here. In fact, it can be kind of difficult to tell from photographs of kimono being worn, but because feminine style obi are so much bigger, the kimono itself actually has to be cut differently. If you look at pictures like this, you might think, oh, the shape is the same, and it is basically the same. But, hot tip, if you want to make sure that you're buying either a masculine style or feminine style kimono, they're usually sold separately from the obi, so it can be hard to tell. But the thing that will tip you off, let me see if I can find a decent image. The thing that will tip you off is that feminine style kimono have to have the sleeves kind of more detached to make room for this obi in here. So you can kind of see they go all the way up like this, whereas masculine style kimono will sometimes attach all the way down to here. And furthermore, it's gonna be hard to find a photograph of this being worn. Furthermore, you can almost see it here. The inside of the sleeve is masculine style. They're attached all the way to here, you can kind of tell. All the way. For feminine style kimono, can I find one? Please show me your armpits. Please. This might help. Oh dear, oh dear. Oops. There's... You can kind of see it's attached all the way here. You can see it's more attached. How do I find an image of this? Maybe I should just draw it. Let's do that real quick. Let me just... Wait. Ayo. Okay, I'm gonna draw this real quick. Let me get this here and this here. Wish. So kimono are all generally this shape when they're not being worn. Oops. Maybe I should use a line tool. Is there a line tool here? Yeah, that'll be better. Oh, that's really small. Alright, let's go big. So kimono have this general shape. We got the sleeves here. Oops. And then you got the body here. When you're not wearing a kimono, this is kind of what it looks like. Kind of looks like this. With some seams here. Here, I'll draw the seams lighter so it's doesn't look the same. The seams. This should also be seams then. Like this, like this. There's one going down here. Here, here. And this is actually more like this. Yeah. Oops. I need to erase. Erase. Okay. So basically, for women's kimono, this break here at the sleeve goes all the way up. Whereas for masculine style kimono, sometimes it's attached all the way down here. Additionally, this part of the sleeve right here, where it's not attached, is actually on feminine style kimono is completely open. There's like a hole here. And in fact, there's a hole here matching on the other side, on the inside of the kimono. It's very hard to show. And when you put it on, it's not very visible. But there's a hole. There's a hole. Kind of like a sleeve hole is here and here. For feminine style kimono, there's holes here. To make room for the obi. Okay. Back to this. I'm not sure if that made any sense. Maybe I can try to find some pictures of it. What is it called? Wait, have you been to a Japanese festival now? I have been to I have been to Japanese festivals outside of Japan, but it's still my hope to go to a Japanese festival within Japan. They just tend to be a summer thing, and summer in Japan can be kind of dreadful. Awful. Miserable. So I haven't been to Japan in the summer quite yet. But maybe one day. If I am, it will be the festival that keeps me going. Oh, I was wondering if mixing and matching was possible. In the modern day, mixing and matching can be possible, but you have to kind of know what you're doing. It's kind of like in any sort of fashion, right? If you don't really know what you're doing, people who know what they're doing will notice, will be able to tell, right? But if you do know what you're doing and you're doing it intentionally, then it might be more acceptable. Let me see. Let's see. Joshi? No, Kimono? Let's see if I can get a good photograph of the holes on the inside of the sleeve. It's so much easier if I have an actual... What is this thing called again? Maybe I should find the name of it. Okay. This might help. So, we look, where did it go? So here you can kind of see the hole. It's not very visible. You kind of see it. But I was gonna show you, for comparison's sake, you can see how high these sleeves are cut. This one is not cut apart at all. You can see it's almost completely attached. Here's a diagram. Oh yeah, you can see there's kind of holes right here. Here's the Otohono style. Almost sometimes they're completely attached. And the Onna style is over here with the holes. You can see from this point of view, you can actually stick your finger in the hole right there. These armpit holes, if you see armpit holes like this, that is for feminine style kimono. Yeah, I think these are probably the best diagrams I've found so far here. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. Can a girl wear a male yukata? Of course, Chito, of course. Nowadays, fashion has become less strict about gender roles, I guess. Because it's really interesting that in so many countries, fashion has developed around gender. But in the end, playing with that can always be fun, right? It's just, I would recommend that you know what you're doing, right? If you are a female or female presenting person, but you want to wear a masculine style kimono, then just make sure you know that's what you're doing. I've seen some really great looking ensembles that are done that way. Similarly, if you are a male and or masculine presenting person, but you prefer feminine style kimono, I've seen people do that as well, and do it quite beautifully. And so it's all about gender presentation, right? Just like anything else. It's like saying, can a Westerner who identifies as a male wear a dress? Well, sure. But you probably want to know what you're doing before you do that. You want to know what expectations you are breaking. And you kind of want to wear it in a way that looks nice, right? Because that is what fashion is about. And for Western style women, wearing pants was a thing that they didn't used to do, right? But nowadays it's more common. I wouldn't say swapping genders for kimono yet is as common as women wearing pants, but I could see it going that way. It's hard to say what the future holds. Let's go back to pictures of yukata in specific so that we kind of can imagine what we're talking about. Yeah. Oh, how cute! Sorry, I'm just enjoying these diagrams here. This is actually a very helpful diagram. I will explain later. Oh, Sakura! Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. T. Yeah, they're all T's. Kimono is the original OG T pose, I will say. Oh, that man's obi seemed rather trendy. It seemed to be made of leather, almost like a Western belt. Oh, I must have missed it. Which one were we looking at the time? Yeah. Very trendy to do that sort of thing. To wear Western belts as obi. Because they're still kind of similar. Oh, this is a cute photo. You can see the three basic styles too. The feminine style, the masculine style, and the baby style. Baby style you can tell because they have these special extra tucks. Extra... how you say? Seam. Extra seam on the shoulder so that they can be let out as the baby gets bigger. Though these look like onsen yukata because you see how small her obi is? That's a good way to tell. Her obi is so small, unlike these really massive, really wide obi you see here, for example. Oh, I wish I could... I knew which one you were talking about with the Western belt. That is a common That is a common fashion thing to do these days when you want to mix fashions. This is cute mixing fashion too. Minecraft? Wait, they also celebrate Japanese Summer Festival outside Japan. Oh yes! It does depend a bit on where you are in the world. Especially in areas where there's a high percentage of Japanese diaspora, they of course brought their holidays with them. And so in places like that, you can find a lot of Japanese festivals. Since festivals are things you need a community for in a way. It's hard to throw a festival all by yourself. The place I live has a big Japanese population, so there actually are some festivals year-round. Nice. Oh, I see. So you have been to one as well. Oh, I missed the anniversary. Sorry, congratulations. Oh, no problem. Thank you, Mega's Place. Thank you. Just one, and unfortunately not in Yukata. Understandable. Next time. Next time, I hope you feel inspired to wear some yukata. Like this? This is cute. One other main gender difference between masculine style and feminine style kimono. Let me go back and find that diagram I said I really liked. This one here? You might look at this diagram and think, oh, there's a cut here. There is no cut here, and it's not a seam either. It's something they call the ohashori. You can if you can read hiragana, you can read that here. Ohashori. And this is a key feature of feminine style kimono. When you see feminine style kimono not being worn, one thing you will realize is that it is extremely long. Masculine style kimono tend to be cut so that if you measure from about the nape of your neck to about your ankle, that's the length that you want to get. And that'll be perfectly measured, and then you wear it like that. For feminine style kimono, you actually want the length to be closer to, say, the same as your whole height. Because this ohashori here, this ohashori is a fold that you put into your kimono. You hike up the kimono until it reaches your ankles, the proper height of the hem at the bottom, and then you tie a cloth around the cloth. How do you say, ribbon? Rope? Traditionally with kimono, you use these cloth ropes called koshihimo. I forget what it means. Himo just means like a tie. Koshihimo, you tie it up, and then you just flop the extra cloth over the top here. So that's another distinct difference. You have the holes here in the armpit, and then the length of the kimono itself. The eri, the collar, is also going to be slightly different because, as I mentioned, you want it hanging off the back of your neck if you're going to go feminine style. But so it's made a little differently to accommodate that, but it's not really that visible, honestly. So the two main differences I would look out for are the length, and the big tell is the hole in the underarm. You can see here on Sakura, she has this fold here. It's not a separate piece, and the drawing makes it look like it's a contiguous pattern, but it's not. You can see here. You can kind of see the fold here. You just fold it up underneath, and then you tie it all down, and you flatten it out so it looks nice and neat, and then you get this line here. Yeah, but it's actually just folded over on top of itself. I hope that makes sense. You can see the fold here as well. When you start looking closely, you can start to see it. Sometimes the very busy patterns will obscure it. Oh, this guy, fashion. Yeah, that's a Western belt. Yeah, in fact, he's kind of showing a lot of leg here. That's kind of a... That's kind of suggestive. Oh, and this was a very common, what do they call it? I think they call it like a Mandarin collar shirt underneath a kimono. It was a very popular look back in Meiji Showa time. When men started using it as basically as a juban, as underwear, in the same way as like a white shirt would be underwear for a men's suit in the West. There was a good synergy there, so that became a look. You might look at, say, what's it called? Sensei. Do you know that anime where there's the like depressed teacher? It feels very Monogatari-esque. Something Sensei. He wears this sort of thing. You'll see it a lot in sort of like old-timey shows referring to Meiji Showa era. What exactly is the purpose of these holes in the female yukata anyways? And it's actually an all-female kimono. Oh, this is a great diagram. This is a great diagram. Is this gonna... Oops. Is this gonna open? Nothing. Let's see. This is a great diagram for what I was talking about. You pull it up, there's a lot of cloth. You pull it up and then you tie it. And then you have this extra piece that you readjust until it's flat. And you make sure it's flat. And then you tie it all down. That's... It's a little more complicated to put on feminine style kimono. Masculine style kimono, you just wrap it around you, you tie it up, and it's all good. Feminine style kimono, you have all this extra cloth that you gotta try and make look neat. What is I talking about? Oh yes, the holes. The holes are useful for feminine style kimono because of one, the obi is so large, it goes all the way up here to where the sleeves attach, you see. There needs to be room. Whereas in masculine style kimono, can I find a good picture? Masculine style kimono, the obi is way down here by his hips, so he doesn't need a hole to be over here. You don't need the sleeves to attach so high, they can attach very low, and so it can be closed off, and therefore, in my opinion, a much better pocket. By the way, you can use kimono sleeves as pockets, but I always felt that men's style kimono is far more secure as a pocket. So that's the major reason why they changed the feminine style kimono didn't always have this massive obi, but once the obi started getting bigger and bigger, they started making that hole in the underarm. Secondarily, the hole in the underarm is actually very, very convenient for this particular process. You can see how she kind of sticks her hands into her kimono here? That's because all this cloth here that you can see is loose. If you want to make it nice and smooth in a straight line like this, it's very helpful to be able to reach in through those holes and kind of straighten everything out. I don't know if that's a intended thing, but it is these days. It's how you do it these days. So the hole is somewhat practical even. Well, as practical as a fashion reason can be. You can see here, actually, she's putting on a yukata over a long sleeve, Western clothing, and you can see all the extra cloth here that she's gotta finagle until it lies flat like this underneath the obi. It's a lot of cloth. Like in my wholesome yukata/kimono stream, how could you know? I'm sorry. Also, welcome, Barry. Welcome. Don't know if I said hi to you earlier. Did you just come in? Gasp, how could this be? Zetsubo, that's the one. I was like, despair. Something about despair. Zetsubo. Sayonara Zetsubo, sensei. Exactly. Let me see. I can look that up real quick. Sayonara Zetsubo, sensei. Hi. Oishio. Sayonara Zetsubo sensei. you can see here he wears the collared shirt underneath. It's a fashion statement. It's a fashion statement right there. It gives him the appearance of being from Meiji Showa, sort of a traditional sort of look. Especially with the hakama, this is actually a very academic sort of look that he's taken on. But technically this is not yukata, so I shouldn't stick to this too long. But it's really cool. Fashion. Do sexy kimonos even exist? Those kimonos that Japanese courtesans wear. Yes and no, Chito. Yes and no. Traditional Japanese culture, the concept of sexiness is different from that of traditional Western culture. Traditional Western culture likes to show things like bust, right? And I don't know, lots of things. Traditional Japanese culture likes to show the back of the neck, like I was talking about. So the reason why feminine style... Oh, this guy's looking fancy. I don't know, I just liked this photo. Some good-looking masculine style kimono, by the way, because they're harder to find pictures of. Y'all masculine presenting people need to do more, get more into fashion for the sake of more fashion. Oh yeah, look at that. But I was actually looking for a picture like this so you can see it's hanging off the neck here, right? That's if you want to be really fashionable in a feminine way, you gotta make sure you got some space back there. Typically, the guide is you want to put about if you can put your fist between your collar and your neck, that's about the appropriate amount. The more you show, the more sexy it is, and therefore it can get kind of inappropriate if you go back too far. The further back you go used to be just the sign of like geisha and courtesans, like oeran. And so nowadays some conservative people might look at you funny if you put too much space there. They'll be like, "Oh, you look like a courtesan," you know? But just a little bit of space is appropriate, because if you don't have a lot of space, then it's less fashionable. You gotta get just right. However, I personally really like the look of the really lowered back collar. This one's pretty lowered. You'll see geisha or Michael are a great example. Where Michael Eri, perhaps. Yeah. So Michael, you can see they drop the back of their collar really far. Michael and geisha, because that's the charm point, right? It's very sexy. But additionally to that difference of what part of skin you are showing, the idea of an oeran is that they also... It's not that they're showing a lot of skin, except for back here. It's the covering in lots and lots of cloth and decorations and beautiful stuff that makes them fancy. Makes them fancy. So, traditional oeran, which are the high-class courtesans, looked more like... Well, they look like this. This is a modern conception. This is not what they would actually wear. What they actually wear is more like this. Very fancy, lots of cloth. You can see the obi that comes up. This makeup is too modern, but this obi that comes up all the way. Let me see if I can find a... Oeran have more or less died out due to various laws and stuff, but they look more like this. And so this conception of... Oh, yeah, like this. You see a lot of in the back. A lot of skin showing here. This is a doll, but kind of like that. So the modern conception likes the idea of showing more skin. Which, I mean, if you're a courtesan, you might show more skin when you're doing your job. But not when wandering around. Not when wandering around. Yeah, you look more like this. The sign of your status was how ridiculously decorated and beautiful you were. Yeah. Some Oiran pictures. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, like this. Like this. They have these massive shoes, by the way. This is really cool. And this here you see in front of her is a massive obi. At some point during history, obi used to be in the front, and then they went to the back for practicality reasons. But the Oiran, as a show of their like, fantasticness, they wear their obi musubi in the front. So that's another thing to be aware of. Obi musubi are usually in the back. If you put it in the front, people are going to think that you're trying to look like a courtesan. Just FYI. Keep that in mind. Yeah, back to Yukata. This is not even Yukata though, actually. Let's click on an actual Yukata. This is Yukata. I've been looking for a while, but just thought I'd pop my head in. Oh, thank you, Fairy. Well, it's good to see you. We stand lurkers too. Very stylish. Women wearing male yukata doesn't look right in my opinion. How come, Chito? I've seen some people who pull it off really well. It looks really good. I'm not sure how I would search for that though. Let's see. Otokopoi. There's a Japanese style called otokopoi, which just literally means like a boy. That's been getting popular, but it's kind of hard to find because boys can also wear otokopoi. So if you look up otokopoi, you might get lots of pictures of men rather than women wearing masculine style. Let me see. Otokopoi. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. For example, these two looking super stylish right here. She's gone halfway otokopoi. Her obi is a little bit wider and a little bit higher up. But here in the geometric pattern called asanoha, you can see she's got her obi way down low where it would be for a masculine style kimono. And she looks really cool. I wonder if I can find some more. It can be difficult. I don't know the proper keywords for searching, but I've seen some really good otokopoi. Ah, here's another photograph, see? Otokopoi. Looks good. I personally am for... I'm a very open fashion type of person. I think fashion is meant to be played with. I'm the type of person who says know the rules so that when you bend them, you're doing it consciously and for your own personal fashion reasons, you know? But feel free to bend them. Of course, when you're playing with a culture that's not your own, you always want to make sure you're respectful, right? So knowing the rules helps with that too. It prevents you from doing a misstep. Like the thing that I should make sure to constantly emphasize. Notice in all of these photographs, the left side of the kimono is wrapped on the outside. That is actually incredibly important. That's something that I don't recommend playing with, because this is how you wear kimono if you are alive. The other way is how you wear kimono if you're dead. And a lot of people find it kind of unlucky and kind of scary if people are walking around looking like they're dead. It's a little disconcerting. And so culturally, I think it's appropriate to not mess with that rule. That rule, you keep it like this unless you're literally doing cosplay of a ghost. If you're doing ghost cosplay, that's fine. Everyone understands the context. Everyone knows that you're supposed to look dead. You know? But if you're just wandering around, I wouldn't mess with that. It's a little clearer here. Left over right. Left over right. And that's how most kimono are made also. If you look at the patterning, as you get more used to it, you'll see that they're meant to be worn this way. So there are certain rules you don't want to break. But there are other rules where, as long as the original culture doesn't find it disrespectful to play around with, I think you should feel free. Such as gender. As long as you're doing it with an understanding of what you're doing and how that affects your gender presentation. I had been meaning to ask where hakama factor into the equation, or if they were part of a separate wardrobe entirely. Ah, hakama. Hakama are fun. Hakama are fun. You will almost never wear hakama with yukata, because hakama are kind of more formal. So pairing them together doesn't seem quite right. Maybe if you made a very casual hakama, but usually you don't pair them together. Hakama are intended for... We still have this? Some of these guys have hakama. Hakama were originally sort of a warrior class thing. So Japanese clothing, wafuku, actually has a lot of different kinds of pants, quote unquote. Things that go over just your legs. And hakama were the style that were popularized by the samurai class. Ostensibly because they were good for wearing on when riding horses and stuff, but really, in reality, it was just fashion. That's my opinion, but I'm pretty sure it was just fashion. Especially because there are two types of hakama. Andon hakama, which means lantern hakama, and now I forget. Undo, I think, hakama. Is that right? Anyways, there's kinds where there's two legs, and there's kinds where it's actually just all one big piece, with no legs in the middle. Just like a skirt, basically. But they were popularized by the warrior class because various reasons. They tie their swords to it and stuff like that. But because the warrior class was all cool and stuff, people in Edo, modern-day Tokyo, started adopting it as fashion as well. And so it came to be actually a symbol of propriety in a way as well. So nowadays, I showed you some like fancy women's kimono, right? This is fancy men's kimono. You can't really tell, but this is average actually. Average. He's got a jacket on the outside, but wearing hakama. So if you wear let's talk about levels, I guess. If you wear kimono by itself with nothing else in masculine style, it's considered extremely casual. Like you just stepped out of your house real quick to go get the mail and you're coming right back in. If you want to be more street appropriate, then you would wear a haori, a jacket like this one. They can be the same color or it can be a different color. But you would wear a jacket. This doesn't apply to yukata, by the way. Yukata are just casual. It's wearing like... Yukata are like jeans and a t-shirt. And so yeah. But for masculine style, you would wear maybe a jacket. And then, or instead of a jacket, you could wear a hakama. But if you wear hakama and kimono with no jacket, you're going to look very martial arts. It's a very martial arts style image. So you want to keep that in mind if that's what you're intending or not. And then, if you want to take a step up from there, to be generally appropriate to semi-formal, you would wear both the jacket and and the hakama. That is considered general to semi-formal. And the formality from there gets higher and higher based on what kind of kimono you're wearing. Such as what kinds of designs it has, whether or not it has family crests on it, what color it is, that sort of thing. That we won't get into too much today. For feminine style kimono, hakama has a completely different implication actually. Because women were not expected to wear a hakama throughout most of history. Because again, it was related to sort of warriorness. But as you can see, there are still women who wear hakama, especially nowadays. There's one here. And this is because it became popularized during Taisho Meiji probably. Taisho Meiji Showa. As in a way that relates to schoolgirl uniforms, in fact, as well as Shinto Miko, Shinto priestesses, will wear hakama like this. And the hakama that are worn by women and men are very similar, except for the ties are a bit thicker, kind of like the women's obi is a bit thicker. And women tend to only wear the andon skirt type hakama. Men can wear either one based on their preference. But yes, so it got associated with a schoolgirl kind of look, which is why you'll tend to see them at, for example, graduation ceremonies. This outfit, to me, looks like a graduation ceremony outfit. Yeah. So that's the association if you're gonna wear it in a feminine style. Yes. Oh, I like it a lot. Oh. I like it a lot too. The women wearing male style yukata. It's similar in old Western stuff. Bust wasn't considered sexy, it was just standards. It's more the stuff that isn't always on show that was considered sexy. Oh, interesting. By old Western, I mean Western world, not cowboy Western. Oh. Oh, I see. Thank you for the clarification, cowboy. Yeehaw, right? Kimono showing cleavage, I guess, the closest to real-life sexy kimono. In kimono, actually, showing cleavage is considered... It's not that it's considered too sexy. It's considered kind of messy, to be honest. For feminine style kimono, you actually want it to cross pretty high up, like here, like this. The further down it crosses, the more you look like, how shall I say, an old person? The older you are, the more acute this angle becomes, and the more it drops down, because it's sort of a more casual, more mature look. For feminine style. For masculine style, you can wear it as low down as you want. That's up to you. The lower down you wear it, the more casual. But for feminine style kimono, it has sort of an implication of age. And if it goes down so far and so wide that you're showing bust, it looks kind of messy because kimono wasn't meant to be worn that way. In fact, if you want to look really cute and young, which I think is very cutesy, you actually want to cross it at a very high, almost obtuse angle. The higher it is, and the wider the angle when it comes together, the more youthful it looks. To the point where if you're getting older, some people are like, that's not appropriate, that's too cute. But as you can see, they cross it very much up here for this very cute look. And that's what's considered appropriate. In fact, for feminine style kimono particularly, the shape is meant to turn you into a tube. The ideal shape when wearing a kimono is this very flat, consistent look. All the way down, as you can see. For masculine style kimono, it's more of this shape, where you got the shoulders and then you got a bit of a belly here intentionally. And then the bottom is a little bit loose, a little bit in. For masculine style kimono, it's up to you how loose you want it, I guess. I would say this looks a little messy. You don't want your skirt flaring, but this looks pretty tight. Yeah. So the top part can be loose. The top part can be loose, and then the bottom part a little more tightly together, but still with a little bit more looseness than a feminine style kimono. If that makes sense. Like this guy's got it pretty good. That's kind of the shape. Though again, ideally I feel like he could have a little bit more belly, to be honest. Modern sensibilities being affected by Western fashion, sometimes they'll put the Gymnopedi hype. They'll put the obi a bit higher like this or like this on masculine style, but this is more traditional, right under the belly here. This is really well dressed. Both of them, they look incredible. This is the shape that traditionally you're going for. This one as well, because that one's kimono. Whichever one I just clicked on, it disappeared now. This one's yukata. It's pretty well dressed. You're going for that tube shape or this shape, whatever you call this shape. Doop. Ghost drip. Ghost drip. Please do not go around dressed as a ghost, folks. Yeah, please don't. You might freak some people out. Fashion. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of kimono varieties in anime, especially in a fantasy or historical. Oops. Some looks like a combination of kimono/ninja, samurai/kimono, kimono with armor. That makes sense, Chito. So kimono actually is just made of the words for thing that you wear. Thing that you wear. Maybe I can open that up. Let me... Let's go to jisho.org, my favorite online dictionary. So if you look here, kimono is made of these two words, wear and thing. Kimono is a thing that you wear. So it refers to almost all Japanese style clothing. And in fact, the shape of kimono is so standardized that all these things that you mentioned, they're all kind of kimono-ish. Kimono, basically. So ninja is kind of ninja, the idea of the ninja came from the kagemusha, which are the stage hands on traditional Japanese theater who would wear all black. They would wear black kimono, and I think they would wear monpe, is my guess, on the bottom, to sort of blend into the background while they did things. And that's where that comes from. But it was still a black kimono with other things, like monpe is kind of like hakama. They go over your kimono to sort of give you more mobility. That is one thing that hakama is good for. Gives you more mobility because it doesn't matter if you flap your kimono open. But anyway. So there's that. And then there's samurai. Samurai wore kimono with hakama usually, and when they went to battle, they would wear kimono underneath their armor. So that's all very normal. Yes, Taisho kimono with hakama is my favorite. Alright, I'm gonna get myself a little bit distracted right now, but Taisho Roman, it is like let me see. Taisho Roman is like such an aesthetic. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit distracted. Get a little bit distracted from Yukata for a bit. Because look at this. Look at this fashion. It's so cute. This one's a little strange. That's more like this. More like this. Where is the... Nozomi? No. There's a very famous artist who draws a lot of Taisho Roman style, but I don't remember their name off the top of my head. I was hoping it would pop up here. I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna ignore it for now. Go back to Yukata. Okay. Am I the only one severely impressed by just how much Null knows about this? Oh, thank you. I don't know about impressed. I just... It's a thing that I enjoy, and there's a lot to know. I certainly don't know everything about it. There's still very much for me to learn. Yes. She may say otherwise, but Null's a great teacher. Oh, thank you, Professor Po. Oh, that means a lot. Thank you. I don't know if I agree with that or not, but I'm glad you think so. Thumbs up. Hearing Null say yeehaw is a treat. I'm glad you like it. Noted, we'll try and involve more cowboy-related comments in the future. Dear. Get him, partner. How do you say? Get him, partner. I can't. I don't got that one down. I gotta practice that one. I will be cute when I'm 84 and no one can stop me. Yeah, I agree though. Barry, you know, the thing is, I feel like a lot of people reach that understanding around the time where they're 84. They're like, who cares what other people think anyway? But they spend a long part of their life wondering and worrying about that. I'm with you on that one, Barry. My fashion has always been all over the place. It's never been quite normal, you might say. But that's okay, because it's what I like. What are those yukata Japanese shrine maiden wear called anyway? They wear normal kimono. They tend to wear white kimono with red hakama. Is the sort of classic look for a Japanese miko shrine maiden. But it's just still normal kimono. Just normal kimono with normal hakama. Heck yeah, Barry. Yeah. I believe it, Barry. Yeah. Me too. I realize now. Should we warn Null about the time earlier than usual, given the circumstances? Oh dear. Oh man, you're right. Oh my goodness. Wow. The time really flew, didn't it? Oh my goodness. How are we already? I don't know if I even got through half of what I was planning to say, but I'm glad we were able to fill the time. I was afraid everyone would be like, this is boring. I don't care. Get on with it already. Let's see. What are yukata? When can you wear yukata? How to get dressed? Gender differences, fashion tips. Those were the things I wrote in the description, and it looks like I actually went through them. What do you know? Wow. I actually got that done? Incredible. On a high level, in a very disorganized fashion, but it happened. Great. Let me try and catch up with chat then. Yep. Probably for the best shatter, unfortunately. Oh, thank you everyone. Technically, you just did. It's true. I could learn about kimono all day, but unfortunately I feel like monkey business may be more important, Mama. Oh, thank you, Shatter, thank you. I wish talking about kimono all day was more important. But I think you're right. I appreciate it. hopefully we can do this again sometime. Maybe sometime soon. If y'all enjoyed it, I hope y'all enjoyed it, because I'm having a great time. I have so much more I could talk about. This is the time for now to stop reading comments. Rest is important. Oh, thank you, Barry. Thank you. Alright, I will try to read through quickly and not make too many tangents so I can catch up to y'all in time to say goodbye. Very important, it's true. Hugs and thumbs up, thank you, Chico. I shall leave my hashtag love kiss here just to be safe. Oh dear, Shadow. Oh dear. Oh, thank you. Perhaps a Kimono live to Yukata Lesson and Workshop. Let's get in the summer mood part 2 is in the future? I hope so, Ryder. I hope you all enjoyed this. I think there's a lot more I can say about Yukata in specific. And I do want to get you all being like, okay, so now what? How do I get started wearing it, you know? So I would love to talk about it some more. I was always hoping that today would not be a one-off, that we'd have a lot more content like this in the future. I think this went pretty well. What do you think? This went smoother than I expected. Yes, please. Oh, part 2 hype. Oh, thank you everyone. Oh my goodness. I'm glad it wasn't just me over here having fun all by myself. Little notes on what to go over. There's a lesson plan, silly. You did it. You did a teach. No. Oh, maybe you're right. I hadn't thought about it that way. But they were very, very small notes. Very, very small. Oh, well, thank you. This is so boring. Get on with it. Nobody. Oh, thank you, Ryder. Yeah, part 2. Oh. I'm excited. It's a deal then. Nice. Now picks Yukata out for mods, and maybe a couple people in chat would be quite fun. That does sound like fun. Oh. Fireworks. Thank you, Ryder. And I'm caught back up. Incredible. And with time to spare. Wonderful. It's good to be back in the present with all of you. I wonder if we should hop back over to the comfy room. What do you think? Welcome to the present now. Oh, thank you, Shadow. Thank you. It's good to be here. Yeah, let's hop back over to the comfy room for closing statements. You're a present now. Oh no! Oh, thank you. Oh dear. Oh, thank you, Professor Paul. I don't know about that, but thank you. Oh dear. Okay, let's Ta-da! Oh, I guess I still have this QR code up. I forgot, but you know what? We'll leave it there. Come find me on Hello Talk. Let's go Hello Talk together. What a grand old time. Things are popping here in the Tea Club. 250 subs, new merch, Yukata stream, and now caught up to chat on time. Wow! Wow, you're right, Ryder. That's pretty good. Proud monkey. Wow. Oh, thank you all so much. Quick question. Will this all be on the test? The test has not been written yet, so you'll just have to study everything. You can borrow my notes, Barry. Oh, that's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. I did learn a lot of new knowledge about yukata. Unfortunately, I can't go to Japan. It's unfortunate. But you know, there's a lot of ways to get kimono outside of Japan. If you're in a place with a lot of Japanese diaspora, sometimes you can find shops for people who bring kimono over from Japan, so local shops. Even when there's no diaspora, there are a few different places that I know of in different parts of the world where people are not Japanese, but they're running kimono shops or even making their very own kimono in beautiful ways. And additionally, with the advent of the internet age, there are quite a few Japanese shops that will now ship overseas worldwide, a few of which I have tried and recommend. My favorite kimono shop, unfortunately, is no longer. So sad. Sad. That it makes me really sad. But a few of my other favorites are still around. And so there is gaining more and more accessibility to kimono for people even outside of Japan. I highly recommend looking into it if you're curious. Or I will try to make recommendations to you all in the future if you're interested too. I may need them since I was lurking for the first half. Study everything, got it? Study group time? Nice. Heck yeah, Paul. Tess would probably be sending a photo of us in yukata one day. Please. If it ever gets to the point where I've inspired all of you enough that you want to start getting into kimono fashion, even anything at all, like, oh, I decided to wear a hawari over my Western clothing. That's a thing you can do. Then I would love to see it. That would make me so happy. I would be overflowing with joy. Now reviews. Viewer submitted kimono. Please. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. That's an incredible idea. Please, one day. All of Monkey's fingers are crossed. One day. I've seen some Sanrio themed kimono and I've been so tempted to buy them. But they're obviously and rightly so expensive. I don't really have the space to display them. Oh yes, I recommend if you're gonna do something like that, treat yourself. Wear them. Don't just look at them, you know. I haven't seen the Sanrio themed ones, but now I'm gonna go look it up. There are also really exorbitantly expensive Sailor Moon themed kimono and Dragon Ball Z themed kimono. There's a lot of fun kimono out there. But if you're willing to go secondhand, especially things that have defects, then there's ways to get really cheap kimono out there, like less than $10. Okay, I don't necessarily recommend less than $10, but like $15 a kimono? Ridiculous. Now you see why I have a kimono problem. And new yukata are not that bad. They're not that bad when you consider how long kimono are meant to last. They can last for generations. So I recommend. I recommend looking into cheaper options, maybe, unless you really love the expensive ones. You know, it's about what sparks joy for you. It may be difficult to find yukata in the Fake Kingdom, but I can try my best. I may already have a howdy or two. Really, Shatter? I want to see them! Oh my goodness, I want to see them! Howdy work really well with Western clothing. You can wear them more or less like an outer jacket. It looks really good. Oh, that does sound fun. Okay, I suppose it's time to go. I think you're right. Thanks for the stream. I enjoyed my time here. Looking forward to the next one. See you Thursday. #LoveTeach. Thank you, Ryder. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, and I'm looking forward to Thursday as well. Thank you for such a lovely and educational time now. Thank you, Professor Paul. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you for coming. It was very motivational to have a professor in the chat while I was giving my lesson. I felt very encouraged. Thank you for the stream now. I learned a whole lot and I may need to do some self-studying for next time. Hashtag love Tianshi. Thank you for coming, Shatter. Thank you. I'm glad you learned a lot. I hope to help all of you learn even more in the future and get more hype. Kimono hype. Hashtag love Tianshi. Thank you, Professor Paul. Oh dear. It's catching on. What am I gonna do if this catches on? Now the Japanese historian. I wouldn't go that far. My personal knowledge of history is not great, but thank you, I appreciate. Hashtag love Tianshi. Oh dear. Oh no. Thank you, Barry, thank you. Yes, it's catching on. Oh dear. Oh no. Worldwide trending soon. I would die. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay. We better end here, huh? It's a little over time now. So, this meeting of the Tianshi Tea Club is now officially adjourned. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm glad you had fun. I had fun. Let's do this again soon. I was nervous, but it was a success. I would consider this as a success. Monkey can't even talk anymore. I would consider this a success. That's hard to say. Alright, I'll see you all on Thursday. Take care of yourselves. Take care, Tianshi. Bye bye. Thank you, Ryder. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye.